Hi, this is Granny B of Granny B Crochets, and I want to talk to you for a few minutes about rolling up your yarn, because there's a better way than the way we did it when we were growing up. There are lots of different reasons why you might want to roll your yarn into a ball, and if you don't own a ball winder, you need to know the way to wind it up by hand where it does the least amount of damage to your yarn. So let's first talk about some reasons why we might want to roll up our yarn, and then I'll show you the way it's done best.
One reason you might roll up a ball of yarn is because the project you're working on did not come out exactly the way you wanted it to. So you're going to unravel it so you can make something new with it. And that's what's happening right here. This sweater didn't fit. I'm going to try a different pattern that I think is cuter anyways. So I'm going to unravel it and make myself something else.
Another reason why you might need to roll up a ball of yarn is you've finished your project, but the ball you were using after having the yarn pulled out from it kind of fell apart. Another reason why you might need to roll your yarn into smaller balls is if you're going to fussy cut the yarn. Fussy cutting the yarn is when you take a yarn that comes in stripes and you cut the colors apart, because you only need some of the colors or you only need small amounts of the colors. So the sweater I'm wearing right now, it started out like this as a ball of yarn. When I had the leftovers left over, I cut it into smaller parts to make the little additions to my sweater and also to make some Christmas ornaments and some other little things. I bought this ball of yarn to make a doll blanket, but it's going to make a huge blanket if I just use it like it is. So I'm going to take each color apart and roll them up into smaller balls so that I have smaller amounts of the colors to make the blanket. All right, let's learn how to properly roll a ball of yarn with your hands.
Okay, let's roll up our ball of yarn. First, we're going to take the label off. And we're just, because I need all the colors eventually, I'm going to just start from the outside. And I'm just going to let the ball fall into the floor. So the biggest thing you have to remember is the yarn stretches. See? And when you roll up your ball of yarn and you pull on it and it stretches, it will stretch it out. And you really don't want that to happen. You want it to stay loose and stretchy. So the yarn basically needs to be able to breathe in the ball of yarn. So that means you need to give it some room. So to start with, instead of having your fingers tight, I even start by loosening up my fingers. And I roll the beginning of my ball. And after you get so much on your fingers, you pull it off, and eventually, see, that's going to be looser. And then you're going to tie it around. But see where my finger is? I'm going to tie it over my finger as well as over that bit of yarn. I'm going to do that for a little while. I'm going to take my finger out. Now I'm going to fold it in half. And again, I'm going to put my finger in the way. So I'm rolling this ball. We're going to roll this way for a while. And then when you get so far, you're going to turn it and put your finger in the way. And you're just going to keep doing this as you roll a ball of yarn. Just always put one of your fingers between what you're adding to the ball and the ball itself. What happens then is it stays very loose. So no matter how big this ball gets, because I have a finger in the way every time I wrap this yarn around, the ball itself is not going to get very tight. So even though it's tightening up, you know, as I pull it off and try to wind it up, it is stretching the yarn. As I let go, it gets a chance to relax, and it will relax back into its original unstretched yarn. And so that is how you want to wind a ball of yarn. If you're winding it by hand, always putting one finger between the ball. And we're going to turn it again. Then you just put one finger between the yarn you're winding on and the ball itself. And that will keep everything loose and allow it to relax back into its original shape, and it won't be so stretched out and worn out when you go to use this ball again. And I'm going to do this, and when I get to the end of the blue, I will cut it off, and I will go on to the other colors. And I'm going to sing a little song while I do this for my youngest grandchildren. So if you want some entertainment while you're rolling up your balls of yarn, check out my For the Children video. This is the way we roll the yarn. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps you roll up your balls without so much stretch. Keep them nice and pretty and more brand new feeling. This is Granny B. Thank you for watching.